Hello. Excuse me. So, this is me coming back with the second video. This one's going to be a little bit more fun, but can't forget the intro. Hi, welcome to the Spirit Show. I'm Spirit. Today, I'm going to be talking about Legend of Korra. So, this has been a topic online for a very good minute. And I think it started because of the announcement of the new series that comes out and people learning about what Korra did and didn't do. And then that just coming into a whole, I guess you could say, discussion about Korra and Avatar Korra being a horrible avatar. And I can understand why people would go towards that, especially, the main reason being, oh, she got rid of the avatar cycle. She got rid of all the past avatars. I feel like as much as I can understand why people don't like that, one, narratively speaking, it makes sense. And then two, a lot of that hurt is nostalgia. But what I wanted to talk about more so is not just like Korra, or I guess you could say not just Avatar Korra, but I would want to give my 2 cents on why I think people really perceive Korra to be such a bad avatar, and I don't really think it has anything to do with her. The main fault I would say is Mako. Yeah, Mako, 100%. I you might be like, well, no, she's the avatar, like it shouldn't be her. But you gotta think about it. When we watched Avatar Aang and witnessed all of his feats, everything he did from day one, that entire team for the most part, prodigies. Every single, even Sokka, prodigy. He might not be a prodigy of fighting, but strategy, prodigy. Prodigies. Entire team. And I'm not saying that Aang was carried or Aang didn't put any work or anything of that nature, but like if we look at Team Avatar with Korra and then the gang with like Aang in them, very clear difference. In my opinion, outside of Asami, Korra was set up. I'm sorry, like, okay, season 1. We enter in, Korra's, finally in Republic City. She's having fun. She's doing her thing. And ends up being or going to meet, the pro benders. Bolin's the only one that's trying to be cool. You know what I mean? I literally remember this. I did a whole rewatch over the entire series like a week ago. Mako literally told that man, "What did I tell you about bringing your crazed fans in here, these crazed girls in here?" Mind you, Korra said, "Hi, hello, how are you?" Weird as shit. Weird. Okay. Next, after finding out she's the avatar, he's just gonna go, "Oh, I'm an idiot." Now that she got some clout to her name, you want to be nice, and you still weren't even nice because when you're training her to be the water probender on your team, you're gonna talk about some not bad. Like, what are you so edgy for? At least with Zuko, it made sense. He walked around with a scar on his face from day one. Mako need to get over himself. I'm sorry, and I get it. Mako, Bolin, they were on the streets. They were poor. You know what I mean? They had to fight for a long time. They had to get out the mud. I get it. You are taking that out on everyone else, though. What did Korra do? Like what about Korra had anything to do with your upbringing? What about that? You know what I mean? That doesn't make sense to me. Um, and I'm not gonna get on Mako and Bolin for season 1 and their lack of being able to really fight for real, cause I mean they really didn't do much, honestly. But we definitely get to see their like uselessness at some points in like seasons 2 and definitely season 3. Season 2, there's no reason Mako wasn't lightning bending the way that he should have been, especially being in the Water Nation. Like, I'm gonna just go ahead and skip all the way towards the end of season 2. Korra was about to put Vatu back in that tree, and all them two brothers, two of them, had to do was stand guard. That's it. They couldn't even do that. Not only that, one of them can lightning bend at will. And don't give me, oh, well, it's not that. Season 1, Mako went back to earn some extra money lightning bending. So make that make sense. Make that make sense, okay? I don't know why you aren't lightning bending the waterbenders, but yet in season 3 you gonna do that with what's her name, Minghua, the girl, the waterbender with no arms, but you gonna light her up. Anti-disability politics going on. Mm-hmm. 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 Because the benders that were able body, you ain't think about lightning bending them. And I'm sorry, Desna and Eska, they troublesome with Unalog right behind them. I would have lit their ass up. I would have lit their ass up. I'm sorry, just ooh, right to the jugular. I'm being so serious, so serious. We're not even doing that. Bolin. I don't want to get too much on Bolin because unlike Mako, he's likable. Like the thing about Mako is that he does not get to be likable, in my opinion, until like season 4. It took 3 seasons for me to end up liking you. 3. And even within you being in the last season, I still was kind of like, about Mako. Bolin, ball of sunshine. Hard not to like Bolin. The only thing about Bolin, outside of him being like the comedic relief, is that I, I think both of them should have trained more, but I think Bolin out of the 2 should have trained more. And that's not to say that Bolin can't fight, but it's more so to say that, like, and maybe I misunderstood it, but in season 3, Bolin was trying to metal bend. And from what I got out of that is that he's tried to metal bend before. And so, like, I'm not saying that he would have just known he was a lava bender. You know what I mean? Like, that's not something people just know. But, like, we see that Toph was only really able to metal bend due to her seismic sense. And then her also relentlessly training. Toph don't stop training. And the one thing I will definitely say is outside of Korra, nobody in her team was training. And the only one that didn't need to was Asami. How is Asami putting in more work, getting more done than 2 benders that are brothers and have a sibling connection? Make that make sense. On top of the fact that goes back to my point about the whole Eska and Desna situation, sibling on sibling stuff. Y'all should have been had that. Y'all should have been had that. What? Huh? Back to Mako. In my opinion, it don't make sense he became a police officer. It don't. And he too prideful. He too prideful. First of all, why wouldn't you want to live with the airbenders? There's at that point in time, there's only 4 of them. Yeah, 4. There's only 4 of them. Why would you not want to be with the airbenders? Where the airbenders at? That don't make sense. That don't make sense at all. Like that. How many people you know they got to be around airbenders? Like what? I don't, and this might just turn into a Mako hate video, and that's fine. I don't like Mako. I don't. I feel like the voice actor did a really good job, but I don't. I much would have preferred, what's his name, General Iroh, replacing Mako. Yeah, because at least General Iroh gave the illusion that he knew how to firebend. And you know what? I'll take that back. That's not fair. That's not fair. Because Mako was not from the Fire Nation, so I will give him that. I will give him that. However, the fact that you had access to the White Lotus and you wasn't training with them sparring, shame. Because there's no reason why you wouldn't be doing it, or you shouldn't be doing it, especially if you're going, Corey, you know I'm on your team. I'm Team Avatar. Then why your ass always getting mollywopped? Like the second time, sorry. Yeah, no. Second time you lightning bend, is going up against a disabled one with no arms. You didn't think about doing that in the damn water tribe with the other water benders that were wanting to fight you in their home turf? And you be like, oh well, he could have electrified everything else. I don't know. Bolin and Korra were both able to earthbend in the Southern Tribe, so I'm not thinking that it's only ice out there. You know what I mean? I definitely think Bolin could have just elevated himself real good and been all right. Same thing with making sure Mako had his own little platform. So that's mute point. Um, Also, in my opinion, if it wasn't for Pabu, they would have been stuck. 2 times Pablo came to the rescue. Rescue. Sorry about that. Would definitely have been when they saw Korra get kidnapped by the Red Lotus. That 100%. And the next one would have been when they needed Pabu to break them out of ropes. I'm trying to remember what season this was. I think it was like season 1. I think. I'm not 100% sure. But I remember the scene. Mako was being an ass again because Bolin was trying to help. That's another thing. Mako so I'm the big brother. I'm gonna do this on my own. That when when Bolin really has points and Bolin really has like a plan, you like discredit him. Bolin would have never gone back to work with them gangbangers had you not discredit his plan and really heard him out. Cause I'm sorry, but it probably would have worked. It probably would have. Bolin had somebody throw a little change in his hat. But you're not going for it. And not only was you not just going for it, because that's one thing. You want to discredit it and like put him down. I'll figure it out like I always do. You lucky Bolin's so nice because we wouldn't be brothers. We would not be brothers. Being orphaned or not. Because why are you acting like this? For what? For what? It don't make no sense. It just didn't. It doesn't. It never has. But no, back to what I was saying with the scene. Mako was being a little ass. It was like I'll just figure it out. Like well stop playing Bolin. Get serious. Whole time Pabu is really chewing through them damn cords. He's really getting that rope gone. Like the hell. Then you want a 2-time with Asami and Korra, and then get mad at Asami like she don't see what you doing. You going crazy because Korra got kidnapped. What? Huh? And then get mad when Asami's like, you don't treat me like this. You don't get it. That's half the reason she's talking to you. You right, duh. Like, the one thing I will say, I that made me get some of the dip off my chip when it came to Mako. Season 4. So dealing with the prince, I think his name was Prince Wu. That didn't do it on its own, but the simple fact that like season 1 Mako would have probably like put his hands on Prince Wu, in season 4 Mako was like actually civil, cool, friends. Okay. +1. Okay, cool. The next thing for me probably would have been probably would have definitely been 100% him helping destroy the big mech. Only 3 times you lightning bend, and not once was it in the actual water tribe. Still don't make sense. Sorry, it doesn't. It still does not make sense to me. And like you might be saying, oh well, it's water in the water tribe, and it would. Listen, I got a crazed terrorist and his 2 twin children that are perpetually emo and goth chasing me around. I'm turning into Thor. I'm gonna be Storm on that battlefield. Just the nature of the game. I'm not fighting fire with water. We going straight to lightning. I'm gonna make sure your nervous system do not work no more. I'm going to make sure that you are paralyzed for at least 6 hours. I'm locking that body up. I'm sorry. That is my biggest gripe with Mako. Especially with how common lightning bending became. Like you can clock in at a shift and put this in here to house and power some homes. Make sure the radio turn on. but you can't defend yourself. And then I also don't like how he wasn't believing Bolin about metal bending. Like, I don't know. I just don't feel like you got no place to talk because you barely lightning bend. And you talking about some, I know you can metal bend, Bolin. He didn't tell. He'd been telling you he can't. He tried when he was younger. He tried while he was at the heart of metal bending in the Earth Kingdom. It didn't work. None of it worked. None of that worked. So why are we pushing the issue? Why are we forcing it? Let's just accept what it is and move on. And then I love that Bolin was able to make him shut up and eat them words with the lava bending. I love that. And that's another reason why I say Bolin need to be in that damn sparring room. He need to be training. How you one of the only or last or most notable known whatever lava benders, and I mean even by season 4 you really was like, that's my biggest thing about like the Legend of Korra. Outside of Korra, nobody was training. And I get it. Like with Aang, they were going to end like the 100-Year War that he caused. Because I get tired of people being like, oh, Aang ended the 100-Year Wars. He caused it. I would hope so. It didn't become a 100-Year War until he vanished for 100 years. That's how chronologically and time and logic and everything works. It wouldn't have been the 100-Year War if he never vanished for 100 years. He was still 12 when he beat Ozai. He would have been 12 whenever he defeated Sozin. It wouldn't have mattered. The running away didn't matter. It just made things worse for everyone else. Anyway, no one trained. And with Aang, I get it. That was more of like the nature and what people were doing. Like they had to end shit. You know what I mean? They had to, put a stop to a lot. So I get it. Everyone had to be on their P's and Q's when it came to the gang. But given the threat, like after Amon, I would have been sparring. Nothing like that's happening to me to ever again. I want to make sure that when I go ahead and need to put belt to ass, I can, and it's going to leave some welts. 100%. That's just how I feel about it. But no, I don't like Mako. And I don't like Team Avatar outside of Asami. I love Asami. Because how is it you are the, in my opinion, second strongest on this team and you don't bend? All you do is flip, twirl, you know what I mean, and punch real hard and make sure people get electrocuted. Use the same glove from season 1. I can't get mad at her. I can't like disrespect or like, discredit Asami in the same way that I can with Mako and even Bolin at times. I just can't. She does her job too well. Too good at it, in my opinion. I love her. I love Asami. And if you don't like Asami, I think there's something wrong with you. Because Asami's pretty. Pretty, beautiful, resourceful. Not just rich, resourceful. You can be rich and have no understanding of how to use them riches. And never caught lacking. I'm really trying to think, like, was there ever a time Asami got kidnapped in the same way that them other 3 did? Korra got kidnapped like 2 times. I think maybe 3. But she's the Avatar, so I'll give that a pass. Well, I mean, no, I can't even count her getting kidnapped by them Earth people. And the Earth Queen, I can't even count that. Because even with that, she broke herself out. She was like, this engine in design is pretty cheap and poorly done. I wouldn't happen at my company and proceeded to break herself out of there. And then like also break out the Avatar. So like, now I will say that air blimp falling out the sky was Korra's fault because you didn't need to go in there airbending them people. That is my biggest like gripe when it comes to like, oh, the plane's crashing in like action shows or movies. And it's like, why did you go into the cockpit shooting everything? Why did we run into where the pilot in the steer of this vehicle is, leading us and like not only take them out, but the equipment they use to keep everything afloat. Why do we? That don't make sense. It don't make sense. And so, and that, like, I don't think Korra is free of blame or free of criticism. I don't. I don't. But on the like opposite end of that, I do think for the most part we aren't looking at a lot of what is her fault or what is considered to be her fault with more nuance. Because quiet as it's kept, if Korra had Toph and Katara, half the shit she went through would not have happened. First of all, Toph would have sensed a lot of bullshit. First, like Unalaq, she would have been like, Korra, he lying. He lying, Korra. He lying to us, Korra. I can feel it. I can feel it. And then Katara, manhunt the second she got kidnapped. Manhunt. You got to think about it. Katara was not a pushover. As much as she might have been in touch with her emotions and willing to cry and show vulnerability, Katara was ready to end that man that got rid of her mama. She didn't because she realized he was pathetic. But had he raised a fist, shown some violence, proved himself to be anything outside of a coward, gone. He would have been gone. Would have been gone. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about Avatar Korra, The Legend of Korra, Mako, Bolin, all of it. And it's where I'm gonna end the video, honestly. Let me know if you like this, if these are interesting to you, because I'll definitely give more. I have some opinions on Green Lanterns and Kyle Rayner. Because at this point, I feel like people need to give him some grace. And I'm just tired of not being able to see Kyle. I'm sorry. He got the best constructs, in my opinion. He just does. No hate to Jessica. I'm not a big fan of Hal. You know what I mean? John is cool. But, like, Kyle? Come on. Look up Kyle Rayner constructs, and you're going to understand what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I would love to see, maybe it's a licensing thing with Kyle, though. Like, maybe the issue with Kyle is that, like, they don't want to pay to use Godzilla or, like, a mech or, like, Kyle construct, like, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura or something like that. Like, maybe that's what it is. But I don't know. I just think we need to see some more Kyle Rayner. And if you want a video on that, let me know. Otherwise, thank you for watching The Spirit Show, and I hope you have a good night. Or day. I don't know when you're watching it. Bye.